Wait, we are live
Yes,
today?
we are.
All right.
Yes, we
We're live.
are.
Oh, there.
No,
Lumabas na siya sa...
sino kaya may tao ngayon saan? Who's gonna be here for the Holy
Si
Week?
Bruce.
Bruce!
Nandito.
What up,
Hey,
Bruce?
Bruce!
One of the early
Hey,
birds
Bruce!
ng party.
Nice meeting you last Sunday.
Yeah, me too. Nice meeting Bruce on the watch party.
Oh yeah, I think I gave him the general. Oh, hey, what's up? Long time, even though I only met him once. Sorry about that, Bruce. It was an early day. Wala pa ako sa senses ko.
And Bruce was so early on day 2 on Monday. We got a chance to to talk for a bit before so ano lang kami, magkasunudan lang eh. And so nice to meet y'all.
I wasn't there during day 2. Magkakaterno pa rin ba kayo ng suot?
No,
Sayang.
that's way too much. That's way too much of a coincidence if that would happen.
I saw a new Roman appear on day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The less we talk, the less we say about that, the better.
yeah.
So, sino ang nasa team bahay? I don't expect a huge viewership tonight because we're having, having a
Baka date.
break.
Baka nasa church yung iba. Team
Yeah,
church.
yeah.
Bisita
sure.
Iglesia date.
Yeah. Who is gonna be here?
Hope you guys are.
What are your
having
Holy Week plans? Kasi ako, I don't know.
Pray.
watch the rest of. For me, I'll
The-
just
the what?
watch.
Yeah, what
Watch
we
the
missed
rest
na.
of the. What we missed during Mania weekend. Yeah, that's my plan.
I would, pero ang dami pa ring lumalabas na bago. So, yeah.
Ang only plan ko for the whole week, mawala yung gout ko. Yun lang.
Tangina, may gout din ako ngayon. Nakaka-bad trip.
Oh man.
Chino, I just want to say on the record, I'm so sorry for ever making fun of your gout. Kasi
Hey, welcome to the
kinakarman
club,
ako.
man. Sakto yan, kakasal ka na, may gout ka na. You're really in that stage of adulthood,
Thanks for saving a seat for me, man.
Welcome to the club,
Tawa-tawa ako
sad.
dito. Magkakaroon din ako niyan.
I only had gout twice in my life. It was the most painful experience.
Oh, that's even worse because you're like, what, 23?
That sucks, dude.
No, I
You're
do.
not-
Hindi. I know have friends who have gout or had gout at in their 20s. So
Damn. You
That
guys
is
just...
just messed up.
Ano yan? Lumalakak lang kayo ng beer at like 15.
No, mine was seafood triggered. So ever
uh,
since iwas na ako with seafoods. Yeah.
what's
I might
gout?
have had one too.
What is that?
Best scout machine.
Y'all are gout machines. You leave me out of this.
We are now a gout stable.
Oh, mga gout sufferers.
All gout.
Yeah.
All right, no, not all kasi wala akong gout. The gout cast.
Somebody turned that into a meme. Yung magaling
You're the-
mag-photoshop
You're
dyan.
the gout cast.
Make us,
Di, Canva mo na lang, Chino. Di ba marunong ka na mag-Canva?
Ikakanva ko yung mga mukha natin sa dun sa katawan nila Ruby Riot.
Hello,
So,
Miguel.
so-
First time watching live.
What's up,
Hey,
Miguel?
what's up, guys?
Are you from the
Hi,
Are you from the watch party? Say hey if you are, kasi marami kaming na meet.
After the viewing party on day 1 pala, may bumati sa amin ni Emil. We didn't get their names, so I'm sorry. Shout out na sa
Shit,
inyo.
na-starstruck kayo, no?
The start
Wala
sucks
sila
Or
sa-
sila.
kinilig kayo.
Yeah.
Kinilig kayo
They
na
were-
kayo na-recognize.
Yeah, like that was the first time someone has come up to me and said
Oh,
they were a fan. So
Yeah. Oh, you'll get used to it. Hello, Anton. Oh, I have interesting thoughts.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I said, give me a hell yeah!
Hey, this is Zeta Zay.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Talent
is not sexually transmitted.
You need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I'm Lewis Howley. I'm Sam Spoker. We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov. This is our the NXT UK champion, and you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stan C, Romaran, Chino Liao, Emil ASH, Rowan ASH, all together, all complete on our 9th anniversary week as a podcast because on April 7, 2014, that's when Ro and I sat in that fateful production booth at Mellow 94.7, RIP, and recorded the very first official episode of the pod. And 9 years later, here we are reviewing our 10th WrestleMania on the pod. And we're going to tell you in a bit how we plan to celebrate our 9th anniversary here on the show. But I just want to say thank you first to everybody for attending our WrestleMania party. Palakpakan para sa inyo. You guys made our WrestleMania weekend. You the ones. Obviously I wasn't there, but from the stories na Emil, Rowan, Chino, it sounds like you guys had a blast. Some more than others, but it was nice to get everybody back in the viewing party atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah. At first I didn't miss it kasi syempre, the chants are weird, but still, eventually, I did kasi nakakamiss talaga. Like, this is the energy you want, especially at our shows, local wrestling shows. So, na-miss ko yung fact na this crowd will pop for almost anything that's borderline cool, at least, diba? So, that's the kind of thing you want to hear on a show, whether it's wrestling or whether it's local or WWE. So, hindi naging awkward for sure. I mean, with the energy, there were no awkward silences. And it tells me that all of y'all miss watching wrestling with fellow fans. So I was afraid, actually, that there weren't going to be as many people because we have Disney Plus and it's cheap and it's way cheaper than the network and you get WWE along with the Disney stuff, diba? And you might prefer not waking up and heading all the way to BGC and just watching at home, diba? But no, you guys made the trip, made the effort, paid up especially, and had fun with us and your fellow wrestling fans. So that's cool, and that tells us that it's not going to be the last time we're going to do this sort of thing.
Yeah, my brother and I were, sabihin ko lang quickly, my brother and I were supposed to fly out for WrestleMania. Unfortunately, naudlot yung mga plano namin. But reverse side of things, we still got to experience WrestleMania in an environment full of fans na yun nga that pop and mark out on anything and everything. And iba talaga yung atmosphere niya eh. So the next time one of these viewing parties comes up, I suggest if you really are a wrestling fan, if you really are...
Oh, gatekeep.
Hindi naman. If you are... Why do you think that's gatekeep anyway? I'm not... If you really are a wrestling fan, di ba gagawin mo ng paraan yan? Kasi iba yung atmosphere niya eh.
Yeah.
Di ba? Iba yung feeling na may kasama kang nag-cheer. Hindi ka mukhang tanga na nag-cheer ka lang mag-isa sa bahay, di ba?
Kahit hindi mo kakilala, makakasundo mo eh.
Yeah,
it would stop you from destroying anything because you can't destroy anything in the public space.
Exactly.
Ikaw, Emil, as the newest member of the pod, what was it like attending your first viewing party as a member of the pod?
Sobrang saya.
His first viewing party ever, not just as a member of the pod.
Yeah, so this was the first time I actually watched wrestling with the crowd. Na was also watching wrestling alongside me, and sobrang saya na experience. I got to meet a lot of people, got to see some of our listeners as well. So yeah, sobrang saya, and namaos ako for the 2 days that I was there. After Monday, I almost can't speak, and I know we recorded our Picks of the Week episode. I was still pause pa ako at that time, so but now I'm back to 100%, and pero yung experience na yun, hindi ko makakalimutan. Again, thank you to everyone who went there. Thank you to our partners, our sponsors. That was a great WrestleMania viewing party. and great for my first one.
Ikaw, Rowan, may nag-challenge ba sa'yo for the WWE Championship? Kasi dala-dala mo yung title eh.
Oh, you did not see
He
my
also had an
picture?
AEW
Oh, boy.
title, by the way.
Did not see my photos?
Yeah, wala na nga yung belt ko dito. It's with Ro now. So, yeah. Oh well.
I have to address. Sorry. Finish it, Rowan.
Oh yeah, so yeah, school has been miserable lately, and I'm very fortunate enough to watch or experience my first viewing party. Mas masaya siya than I expected, and day one lang yung inattendan ko, pero yung pagod, yung paos ko, parang pang day two na siya. For sure, this won't be my last viewing party, and I'm wishing for more viewing parties.
Yeah, I have to address Get Cotton's comment here in the YouTube chat. I can't say anything bad about our partners from Disney Plus, but I will tell you that the big screen sub bar, it made it look a lot better. Like if there's any reason for you to come to our party, it's because the big screen, your main TV, it made it look way better than you might normally do it, than you might normally see on your phone or on your own TV. So, try niyo yan, try niyo yan. It wasn't, it wasn't that, that what you were saying when we were seeing it in front of us in the bar's huge ass screen.
Let's shout out Aaron, the brother of our very own Emil ASH, who's watching the stream for the first time.
He's outside. He's outside this room. So.
Pwede siya
Very
mag-chat
no, sama
team.
mo na dito. De, joke.
All right.
He's happy. He just heard your comment. So.
Okay.
I
Before
can
we
hear you.
Marking out.
Before we get to this next event that we're promoting, since promoters na rin tayo dito sa Wrestling Podcast, we gotta let you know first that we've got a growing Patreon community. In fact, yung Patreon community natin, makakatikim sila ng WrestleMania pasabay, which is actually being shipped already as we speak. So, Emil, let the good people know how they can be part of our Patreon community.
All right, so you could be a part of our Patreon community by subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/wrestling podcast for as low as $5 or sa local currency natin, so around 260 or 270 pesos depending on the exchange rate. So Stan mentioned the pasabays which just happened last week, and as of this moment it's being shipped out now. So for the next one, if you want to get your authentic WWE, AEW, or any other wrestling merch, you could get it through us the next time we do it. Also included in the Patreon program is the review content of the weekly wrestling shows like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, and also our Discord community where you can interact with your fellow podcasts and interact with us as well, where we talk about wrestling and everything. And by subscribing to our Patreon, you're supporting everything that we do here on the podcast. So again, please subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/The Wrestling Podcast for as low as $5.
All right. Sabi ko nga, we are now promoters as well, and we've got a new event that we'd like you to be part of because, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we are celebrating our 9th anniversary, and we're going to do it big over at the PNA Studios, April 23, 2023. That is the Sunday after 420. 6 p.m. at the PNA Studios located at Decagon, Silver City, sa may Tiendesitas. We're inviting everyone to be part of our live podcast recording, so if you didn't get enough of my co-hosts at the viewing party, you can meet us, say hi. Maybe you can grab some snacks or coffee kung may mahanap tayong sponsor, and we'll record a special 9th anniversary episode at the PNA Studios. Tickets are available at 200 pesos. Just go check out pnalive.com for your tickets. For the patrons, meron kaming limited number of free tickets. So go check out our Discord community where you can access those free tickets. Last I checked, meron pa tayong ilan na up for grabs. So for everybody else who's not a patron, this is your call to go buy your tickets now at pnalive.com. That's 200 pesos. We'll see you at our 9th anniversary celebration, April 23. That's a Sunday at 6 p.m. at the Podcast Network Asia Studios. All right. It's our WrestleMania reactions, review / feeling show. So we've got a lot to discuss, but we're going to skip ahead before we break down WrestleMania. Let's talk about some news from outside / inside the ring because meron bali-balita na lumabas na Vince McMahon, the WWE chairman, is reportedly back in some form of role in creative. And nireport ni na Sean Ross Sapp at ng ibang mga sources sa internet that this week's Raw had several rewrites na si Vince nakaupo na sa gorilla position where he has always traditionally been. Meron ding ibang nagsasabi na yung moral medyo bumaba, particularly sa locker room. And it was also reported that there was a staff meeting in light of the Endeavor sale, which we'll talk about in a bit. Triple H was actually reassuring the roster na nothing would change in terms of creative kasi siya pa rin yung chief content officer. So Chino, I'm going to start with you. What went through your mind when this bit of news made its rounds on the internet?
It actually goes hand in hand with the much bigger news that WWE was purchased by Endeavor Entertainment, which we'll get to in a bit. No, because according to other sources online, see Endeavor is actually doing its due diligence and trying to see who the best person is to run the WWE content that they just purchased. So apparently, according to some sources, si Vince yung tinignan nila sa Raw and they weren't impressed. And this Friday SmackDown, they'll have Triple H take the helm and try and run things and see between the two, Triple H and Vince, kung sino yung mas papatok sa kanilang purchase. Which is makes sense kasi di ba bumili ka ng billion-dollar company. So kailangan malaman mo talaga lahat ng nangyayari sa loob. Now, as far as Vince being back in charge made me feel I had mixed emotions. Number one, ayoko na nandun siya because of all the reasons we've talked about here. But number two, the Triple H promo, that could have been an email. You know what I mean? Like, it's such an unnecessary promo to kick things off. By assuring people, taking valuable TV time away and assuring people na parang walang magbabago. When in fact, we already know na may nagbago, di ba? So, na-negate lang yung oras niya doon, nasayang lang yung time niya doon. And like COVID has taught us, that easily could have been a tweet or an email.
You're on mute, my dude. You are on mute.
Stan, muted ka.
Sorry. Ikaw, Rowan, any feelings on your end?
Well, nakakalungkot. I can imagine Raw after Mania, like before all of this happened, na this is gonna be like the first best Raw after Mania like in 10 years. I don't know if there were other best Raw after Manias. Pero I expected a lot for this Raw after Mania. Tapos with Vince being in charge, parang ang daming nagbago, ang daming na-rewrite. It's obviously hindi ginalaw ni Triple H. Parang walang touch ni Triple H yung nangyari dito. And with Vince being in control, I can feel like there could be walkouts na mangyari. Masyadong advance ako mag-isip, so that could be unlikely. Pero that's what I feel about this whole thing. Yeah. And
I wouldn't go so far as to like predict that right away. Ikaw, Ro.
Sige, Emil muna, ikaw muna. Emil, I have a lot to say.
Okay, so when all of this happened, like after the show, after the Raw, I was also like on the crowd where we're saying that this is the end. This is parang so negative, no. And then 24 hours later, a part of me was thinking that maybe we just all overreacted after that Vince led Raw. I am thinking maybe this is just a one-time thing. Maybe just scratched an itch because he hasn't been this active in a long time. I don't know. I'm just trying to be positive here. And, and if Triple H is indeed in charge talaga, I think at some point he needs to have like some control over Vince. Like he should veto any if Vince was trying to rewrite or something or trying to change something, if Triple H is really that person on the creative side of things, he should have the guts to veto anything that Vince does. So that's my feelings about it. So it's like way too early to really judge anything at this moment. We only had just one show after everything has went down. So yeah.
I want to add, sorry. I want to add something.
Sige, mag-add ka na. Go.
Yeah,
Late ka
I
lang
want
dito eh. Kaya naman sa'yo. Sige,
so
lakad.
Huwag mo na
so
awayin,
Emil,
minsan na nga lang eh.
Eh, magsasalita na ako eh. Sige, go.
okay, man. I mean, okay. So Emil said something about being positive, and when things like this would happen, I would just say something like, "Accept challenges and accept changes." Pero ito kasi parang ang hirap tanggapin because it means mahihirapan na naman ako manood ng weekly shows. And it also means na hindi ko siya ma-enjoy. So with Vince being around, things are gonna be hard now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's the thing. I'm glad Emil mentioned that maybe it's a one-time thing. Uh, I want to talk about the context of Raw after Mania. People are saying it's bad. People are saying it's boring. People are going so far as to say that it's the worst episode ever in history. That's way too much of an exaggeration. Unlike many of you, I actually watch Raw every week because I have to write about it, diba? And I have been watching this. My current run of watching Raw has extended to way before Triple H took over, and I know what a Vince written Raw looks like and feels like. And for the most part, um, that or this week's Raw was not that bad. Was it not special? Yes, because many of you are hyping the Raw after Mania too much in your head. If you treat it like a normal Raw, it wasn't terrible. So that to me, it still kind of felt like a Triple H Raw. It's just that, yes, there were things that Vince oversaw and rewrote, like the Seth Rollins thing, and not really getting to say what he got to say, or Bailey being written out completely, diba? So yung mga ganun, yes, I can see that where Vince is influencing. But for the most part, I still don't think this is it just yet. Yes, there were rewrites. Yes, it did seem bad, but you have to remember that for the most part, the roster wrestled 3 straight days, and you're expecting them to wrestle a fourth day. As somebody mentioned on Twitter, this is a load management Raw, so that kind of explains why Anton, there were 29 minutes of wrestling in not a 3-hour show, but a 2 hour and 20 something minute show, because that's really the actual length of Raw. But syempre, you got to give these guys a break because they have been killing themselves since SmackDown on Friday. So, pagbigyan na naman sila. The real test is what when Chino said na they got rest. We got SmackDown on Friday, on Saturday our time, and if that is, if that goes back to the terrible quality of SmackDown way before Triple H came in, that's when I'll believe it. So medyo wait and see mode muna ako dito. But for the most important part about this is actually what the roster feels. Rowan is right that they do have to walk out. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't, the quality of the show shouldn't be the biggest deal, although it's kind of related to that. It should be what the roster feels working under him. So if they do not like working under him, working for Vince McMahon, then that should be the ultimate barometer of whether or not he should stay or he should go. So yun pa lang eh. He's already getting bad PR from all the stories of anonymous wrestlers not liking the idea of going back to the Vince regime. So he got to do the right thing, but I don't expect him to do the right thing because he is Vince, and he's really all about himself.
All right. We kind of alluded to the bigger news here, so let's get right to it. There's a super company that Endeavor is putting together, which involves the WWE and the UFC. So when yung strategic alternatives was originally brought up, sometime late last year or early this year, Endeavor was one of the first few names that actually came up as to who might buy the WWE. And meron ng mga bulong nung WrestleMania Sunday pa lang na halay na, Endeavor's already in the picture. And then the PR came out just a few hours after WrestleMania 39 completely ended na Endeavor has acquired a 51% share of WWE, and the idea is to form a new company along with UFC that's estimated to be worth $9.3 billion. So that's a lot of money. And from where I'm standing, it seems to be a super promotion that's really poised to take over the world of combat sports. I don't know who among you guys follows the UFC closely as well, because I really don't. So I guess if any one of you actually follows the UFC closer, you might want to step in here and give us your
Yeah,
take
yeah.
on how this affects both.
Ako,
Ito,
ikaw ba, Ro, or
sige.
ako?
I have, well, if you know better, then please go ahead.
Sige, ikaw na. Sige, ikaw na.
No, no, no. I
I'll
was
just...
just talking. We were just talking about this when the news broke. So Discord, big reason to sign up for this for Patreon, right? Ninong Derv was telling us na when Endeavor bought UFC, they largely left Dana White to his machinations, diba? So I don't even as a total outsider, I don't see anything that's totally different from the UFC today. So it could very well be na WWE will still operate the way it is. Maybe Vince is going to be back there kasi Vince, siya yung nagbenta sa Endeavor. So, baka may utang na loob si Endeavor na ibalik siya doon. So, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the most part. And then if that's what happens, then you're not going to see a big change to how WWE is run. Maybe you'll get, $60 pay-per-views again. Maybe we'll get that. We don't know. It will depend on how the Peacock deals, the Disney Plus deals will be renewed as it goes on. Pero, yun, going by history, maybe that's it. I just wanted to clarify some misconceptions, though. People are clowning around on social media thinking that Endeavor already owns WWE or they're already in charge. They're not in charge. Uh, there is still a transition period. They have the sale has to be approved by overseeing entities. So the whole thing or endeavor isn't going to be fully in control, if ever, until like late 2023. So
Yeah, second half of the
second
year.
half.
That's when
yeah,
they'll finalize the deal.
cool it with the jokes. It's still it's still WWE's company.
Also, may mga tao na nagsasabi na, hala, baka mag-MMA na si Charlotte Flair. That's not what's going to happen, guys. It's really, it really isn't what's going to happen. I don't expect any of the wrestlers to jump in the octagon. I don't expect any of the fighters to start doing WrestleMania promos. What I do expect to happen is to have two independently run companies under one banner. And I feel like it's important to make this distinction because I think the end game here is to have this super streamer that their own network, if you will, that will cater to both markets, both the MMA market and the WWE market. Kasi magkaibang sports yan eh. I don't really see them mixing the two sports right away. Hindi yan mangyayari at all. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng wrestlers gusto mag-MMA and vice versa. But what I do expect to see is to have this super network. Yun yung end game nila dito eh. You pay more money and you sign up for the WWE UFC hybrid network that they're gonna come out with maybe in a few years' time.
Hey, if that network means now we get access to Tagalog commentary ready again here in the Philippines, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. I don't know. I do wish we get the network back. I mean, like, sige, di na tayo partners right now. So, pwede ko na sabihin yan. So, it would be good though. It would be good. I just don't know. It's really too early to say anything because yun nga, wala pa sa kanila yung kumpanya.
Yeah, there's also one big thing about the deal, and that's the TV deals. Because we talked about this several weeks ago on the pod. Na one of the reasons why WWE is so lucrative is because of the TV deals with Fox and with NBC Universal, and those deals are going to continue running even when Endeavor finalizes the acquisition of WWE by the second half of the year. So in terms of like presenting WWE itself, I don't think a lot will necessarily change at face value just because the TV partners can easily dispute it din eh. Na parang, teka, hindi ito yung binili namin. Hindi yung nung nagpirmahan tayo,
Yeah,
diba?
yeah, agree.
So that's something that for those of you who are jumping the gun and overreacting, something to temper your expectations with. Kasi it's not like all of a sudden the WWE ring's gonna be an octagon. Like that's such an exaggeration.
Although
Yeah, no,
the MMA bros are pretty upset though.
Yeah, the MMA bros are upset kasi they like to use the F word, they like to throw it around, but I really don't see that happening right now. I see two separate entities existing under one banner. Also, nabanggit natin si Vince McMahon at the start of this conversation. I from what I understand, from what I've read online, they really are putting Vince in a position of power. Whether that power includes creative, as the previous Raw might suggest, is still yet to be determined. Because as if I am to believe all the sources I've read, hindi na impress si Endeavor Entertainment with the way Vince ran things during Monday Night Raw.
Vince
Yeah,
or Triple H?
there
Vince,
are diagrams that
Vince.
are
recent Raw.
there are
The
diagrams
recent
being
Raw.
released na presenting yung supposed structure, organizational structure nitong super company. And Vince McMahon is up top alongside Ariel Emanuel, yung pinaka-founder ng Endeavor. And Dana White is actually like a rung below them. So that's pretty interesting. Yung karank ni Dana White is Nick Khan. So I don't know exactly what that means business-wise, but it's just something that caught my attention when that was released on the internet.
Tsaka,
See, Dana White kasi, sorry,
no, go
just to
ahead.
jump in,
Yeah.
Dana White has his own promotion now. Dana White Stop Contender, if I'm not mistaken. It's a kind of parang NXT nila. Instead of having to put up an Ultimate Fighter every year, Dana White came out with his own promotion. So it's kind of them saying na, oh, Dana, balak sa buhay mo, while still including him in the conversation. He is still in charge of the UFC. He just doesn't get to make the big business decisions.
Tsaka one more thing. I know people like to make jokes to say, the jokes are what fuels, what makes us cope, diba? But Endeavor is a business and they're going to, do what's best for business. And, what's best for business isn't going to introduce UFC to the WWE or vice versa, diba? Like John Christopher says, no right business mind would really want Lesnar as both WWE and UFC champ at the same time. Like, you're really gonna make one guy the real and fake fighting champion at the same time. So, syempre may magrereklamo dun, and they're not gonna risk that just because of the memes, So, I think if you're legitimately worried about how being in the same company as the UFC is gonna affect WWE, I think you should relax a little bit.
Yeah, so there. Emil, Rowan, I'll get you your airtime in a bit when we go talk about WrestleMania. But first, we got to take a break and hear from our other podcasts right here on Podcast Network Asia. All right, it's time to process our WrestleMania feels, and we got to start with the Cody decision. Cody Rhodes was the guy that a lot of people were hoping to finally dethrone Roman Reigns, and well, Roman Reigns is still champion 940-ish days and counting. So Rowan, what did you think about how this all went down, and were you one of those people who was so disappointed when Roman got the 1, 2, 3?
Syempre.
Actually, yeah, I was disappointed, pero I still accepted the fact that this is likely to happen. So I'll just let it play out. Um, I think there's another contender out there that is much more deserving to dethrone Roman Reigns. One guy in my mind is Sami Zayn. Um, and there are other competitors din na hindi pa nakakapag-challenge sa Uwu Championship, and that's like AJ Styles, Nakamura, and Ciampa. So this decision of Cody losing is not so bad for me. Malay nyo nga, baka magka-rematch pa rin siya, although he's being stipulated na wala ng rematch. I still feel like there is a way that he can still compete for the title.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Emil, I remember you predicted for Cody to win, diba, on the prediction stream last week. So what was
Yes,
that
I
like
did.
seeing it go down at Skinny Mike's?
When it happened, of course, I was also shocked kasi everyone was pretty much basically predicting a Cody win. Everyone was ready for the coronation of Cody Rhodes. Pero hindi nangyari. And nung talaga nangyari, I was shocked. I was quite disappointed. I saw the mixed reactions to the people sa skinny mics, and I really, pinag-isipan ko talaga yung kung it was the right thing to do. It was if Cody losing was okay. And for me, I'm gonna get to this point now. And ano kasi weeks leading into WrestleMania, I can't find the reason talaga to root for Cody Rhodes. And I kept thinking, is Cody really the guy to dethrone Roman? And honestly, at the end, I just joined the bandwagon. Maybe he is because, it's a popular thing to do. And but I should have trusted my gut and said he's not the person. He's not the person to beat Roman. Kasi, and I think in general, people, the reason why I think they just rooted for Cody is they just want to get the title off of Roman more than have Cody win it. And that's a general feeling na feel ko. So
Chino, people are also saying na Cody, upon his return to WWE, hasn't really had that underdog struggle. Na parang everything has come relatively easy for him. Goes out and wins the Rumble from number 30. He's been undefeated up until WrestleMania 39. So in a way, what he went through at 39 with Roman beating him and then the subsequent heel turn from Brock, that's really his first piece of struggle on this uphill climb.
Yes, definitely. Because some people might see it as him being buried, given the Vince treatment. I only see it as a setback for a comeback, because if they really are serious with putting the title on Cody Rhodes, they will put him through some tests first to really see how this story plays out. And what better test is than the beast incarnate Lesnar? Now, with regards to the title being kept on Roman Reigns, I feel like they did that mostly for metrics, kasi nga, ibebenta yung WWE and they need a banner head in terms of story and celebrity status, and the biggest guy they have right now currently active is Roman Reigns. So feeling ko yun lang din yung naging factor with the story, with the title change.
Ro, di ba si Triple H did the press con thing and he was asked about the whole finish the story thing, and with the way that he answered, he basically told us now, wait lang, who said the story was over?
Yeah. Before he even said that, before I heard he said that, sinabi ko na I didn't want Cody. I mean, I don't like Cody. I didn't really want him to win, but I was prepared for the eventuality that yes, he was going to win because big feel good moment. Like the crowd deserves that. But it was also really hilarious to have Roman win. So jokes on you, everyone else. But if I were here last week, I would have just said that Cody would have or might have won rather, and even if I wanted Roman to win, that would have been the logical choice. When he didn't win, I kind of agreed naman that was a nice place to win, but it could be better. Like the whole point he was harping the entire time was finish the story, diba? And just because he lost doesn't really mean the story is over. The finish he was referring to was when he finally won the championship. That is the actual finish, and because we didn't get that yet, the story isn't finished. So tama nga, there is more left to this. I'm sorry, Antonio. Yeah, happy endings are fun, but sometimes you don't get what you want. Yes, I can stand another year of Roman because the storytelling around him has been undeniably good. Yung bloodline pala, yung sa kanila pa nga lang, they have been knocking it out of the park. Like, I'm sorry you get to witness more Roman Championship defenses and more sad, sneaky, interference finishes, but they really did put in so much effort into making the bloodline stuff watchable. I posted the whole Sammy and Kevin and the Usos exchange last week before WrestleMania, and I said it was still the bigger story versus compared to Roman and Cody. It's just really that much better. They really just did they really did a better job of telling that story, and I think by allowing Cody to fail and then go after the whole thing again. I think this is their way of finally including Cody doon sa high quality storytelling that they've been, spreading amongst themselves and by extension people like Sami Zayn, diba? And Kevin Owens. So this is it. I know that you guys don't want to see another year or so at most of the struggle. I know that's the absolute worst. When TJP was here, he told us of this concept called emotional traffic, and that was the part where the thing has slowed down that to the point that you don't like it anymore. But that's the part where that's the part that makes you want to see the big comeback even more. So I know that y'all are emotional. uh your emotions have been, have been trampled on by the booking by Triple H, and you were hooked in only to be shot through the heart, diba? But I think that there is more to this, and I personally think I don't know him at all, but I don't think Cody and his family would have signed off on taking two big L's back to back on Sunday and on Monday without being promised, a feast at Valhalla at the very end, diba? So yeah, it's terrible, but I know that you guys don't like hearing let's let it play out, but
So
sila na
sasali
nga,
siya sa Viking Raiders. Ganun.
yeah, sila na nga yung ano eh, sila na nga yung nag-usap-usap eh. Feeling ko talaga may promise yun sa pinakadulo. So, yeah, trust the process, I guess. It's what I'm saying. I know I can't make you trust the process, but uh it is what it is. And it sucks, but if you're a real fan as well, I don't think you should give up.
Yeah, after WrestleMania 39 wrapped, I got so many messages from people, either casual fans or people I'm loosely connected to who follow wrestling, and they're like, "What the hell was that?" And so many violent reactions to the ending, and I can't comment on that. Number one, two, I was so tired from having called WrestleMania 2 days in a row. Na I didn't even know how to process those emotions. But there's so much disappointment here surrounding the Cody loss, which I guess speaks to the point that they did such a good job of making people invested in Cody Rhodes' arc. But my question is, for a WrestleMania that we seem to generally enjoy, does this ending ruin that WrestleMania for you? And this is for everyone on the panel.
No, I'll start you off. No, because they really did a good job in making us believe that Cody really was gonna win. Like lahat ng shenanigans na pwede mangyari dun sa match na yun nangyari. All the false finishes that Triple H can come up with. Diba? The kick out from the finishers, the interruption from the Usos, diba? And we really believe na hindi lang it wasn't just that Cody stood a chance, but that he was actually going to walk away with the title. It was really believable at that point until yeah, we got that finish that we got, and Solo Sikoa was an important factor in that. So the trolling I really like because it really just goes to show na hindi pa nga tapos yung story like people are saying.
Yeah.
Or like Ro was saying.
Mm-hmm. Everyone else?
Sige, no, kids, go ahead.
Who's that? Okay,
Go
yes. I'll go ahead. No, hindi naman kasi I was emotionally invested in it. And that time of the match flew by so fast because I was literally invested in the match. So the disappointment I felt after the match was part of the experience of watching that match. So for me, hindi naman naruin yung the way it all ended. It didn't ruin my viewing experience of the entire thing.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no as well. Kasi it's one of the most exciting match that I've watched since last year's WrestleMania. It's as exciting as Brock versus Roman. Pero this one's a bit better. Kasi parang nandito na yung possibility that Roman's reign could end. Pero even if we didn't get what we wanted, nandun pa rin yung emotion natin na like na-work tayo kumbaga. And ako, I wasn't really disappointed because I don't get worked up that much when I didn't get the things that I want.
Kudos to you. Kudos to you. Big boy ka na.
Mature ka. Good job.
You've
Mature.
got a
Mature.
long road ahead of you, Rowan ASH. There will be more
Yeah, no.
things na you want that you might
No,
not
Oh,
get.
wala pa nga siyang gout eh.
No, but that's good, Rowan, because so many people were in their feels and they're still joking about, oh, why didn't Cena and Batista get a year of struggle before winning their championships at WrestleMania 21? But people are so salty about this, and the fact that you are able to keep it at arm's length, that's really great. That's really commendable, especially as a analyst of wrestling, diba? So
mean, I want to add something. Like, people are so worked up with this thing, na they wish Roman some bad stuff to happen. I don't
Yeah,
want to
that's
say
messed up.
Yeah,
That's so
that's
messed up.
way out of
sobrang
line.
stuff, yeah. This whole thing na natalo si Cody, it also reminds me of Austin Theory winning Money in the Bank last year, na like ang daming nagalit, like bakit siya in-insert, maraming deserving naman, parang ganun. Parang similar yung galit dito kay Roman right now.
yeah. Okay. For my answer, well, first you can see the video of of the finish reaction to see what my feelings about that were. But for the real thing though, no, Shepard, no. That one thing didn't overshadow the other great things that we got, because it's unfair that people are saying that, oh, we didn't get what we want. You didn't get the one big thing that you wanted, but we also got other big things that we wanted. We got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens successfully defeating the Usos. The fact that that was overlooked by your Cody Rhodes tantrums is super unfair to them and to their fans, diba? We got
Especially since especially since sila yung nagdala ng story most of the time, right?
To call Triple H out on denying you what you wanted just because Cody didn't win is totally overlooking the fact that Sami Zayn got a really great moment, even though you can say na consolation prize is hindi siya nanalo for sa Elimination Chamber. That was still, they managed to do a great job of making us care about that, even though it wasn't the biggest championship ever. So doesn't credit deserve to be given to the people in charge for that? Rhea Ripley getting a nice win after a nice match, getting that template, getting those minutes to put on the match that they put on. Seth Rollins defeating the evil that is Logan Paul, and Logan Paul wowing everyone once again. Gunther and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre putting on a banger after banger. Did that not deserve to get the praises just because the ultimate blue balls happened? That was unfair.
So I just want to add this, no. Like for weeks on the pod, we were saying that this storyline between Cody and Roman feels like hindi siya yung main story. So people are acting as if they didn't get the big end, the ending of the main story. So kasi siningit lang si Cody dito, and I didn't really see any reasons for me to root for him weeks leading into the WrestleMania. So and then suddenly it seems like the reaction from the people is like they've been building this up for a long time, and this is like the ultimate ball drop moment, which for me hindi naman talaga eh. So
I,
I
I
didn't
think
feel as devastated.
I think the reason people have for being on the band, for starting the bandwagon, for driving the bandwagon, was the whole they mistreated Cody nung first time niya, so to the point that people still remember Stardust, and then he left. He got successful outside WWE, then he comes back. They let him keep the persona that he developed outside of the WWE, and finally took him seriously as a main eventer. So that's their big reason as to why Cody Rhodes should be pushed, which obviously is not like the biggest reason why you should win a championship, diba? So kung yun lang, then that's not really, that's just a meta thing.
Yeah.
All right. Any other feels about the Cody decision? Because we got to talk about the Sammy decision as well.
Yeah.
We can move on to the Sammy thing. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Sami Zayn. So, as Ro mentioned, it was so huge for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to have that moment for a tag team championship match to main event WrestleMania Night 1, for a tag team match to even be in this spot. Ro, you alluded to people saying that demotion yun. it certainly didn't feel that way with the drama, the emotion, the stakes that went into this match, the reverence that Stinerico fans, that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn fans, WWE fans have towards this story, towards this tag team, and how yung thread that really ties it all together are universal emotions, diba? Like family and brotherhood and friendship. So, you're right. I do agree with you, Ro, when you say na it's so unfair to what the Usos and KO and Sammy did because they pulled off a hell of a main event nung night one.
Yes, sir. I already said what I said. This one was them finishing the story, so you can't say that Triple H cannot finish the story when he delivered you a real feel good moment for everyone. Kasi under Vince, there was a real chance that this would have also gone the Usos' way. Diba? So that's how you know that someone else is in charge.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Rowan,
Yeah.
what did you think about this one?
Uh, I think this would be the culminating moment for Sammy. Na this is his WrestleMania moment. Although he didn't get the Uwu title last Elimination Chamber pay-per-view or premium live event, parang ito yung big moment niya. Pero is this his biggest moment? I don't think so. Feeling ko meron pang dadating dyan. And just like what I mentioned a while ago when we were talking about if the Cody decision was wrong, I think Sammy will be the next challenger eventually next year. Pero with this one, I'm glad that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn won. I've been wishing Kevin Owens to win the tag titles for so long din. Pero hindi ko rin alam kung sino yung magiging tag team partner niya. Pero like hindi ko rin naisip na pwede pala si Sami Zayn yun. And then with this happening, I'm really happy.
Mm-hmm. Chino, I know you're a huge KO fan, and did it ever occur to you that this is the first time Kevin Owens has been champion in 6 years?
Actually, no. Inisip ko din yun when they finally won it. Inisip ko kung ilang beses na siya nag-champion, what championships he's held, and and kung make tag team championship na siya dati, all that. It's been a while since we've seen Kevin Owens in the spotlight. But I'd just like to commend the creative team behind the story because I was also part of the people that believe that Sami Zayn should have walked away with the Universal Championship at the Elimination Chamber. Also part of the people who were disappointed. But after everything was said and done, looking back at it, nakikita mo yung tunay na arc nitong kwento na to eh. That Kevin Owens really was integral in Sami Zayn's redemption arc. That he needed to be there for Sami Zayn to actually finish his own story. Kasi kung wala siya doon, mag-isa na laban ni Sami Zayn yun, yung Usos, and then it wouldn't make sense, diba? So having them strip the Usos away from this record-breaking tag team championship run really was just a poignant way to end the story on.
People are saying, Emil, na Charlotte and Rhea were supposed to be in the main event, and that's why parang may konting added gigil tong sina Charlotte and Rhea during their match. But now that the dust has settled on WrestleMania, Emil, do you think na it was right to have KO and Sammy in that spot?
We talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, we. I don't think we have released the pick of the week episode. But we
Well,
did
it actually
say
just came out, so
Okay,
but
all right.
yeah,
So
you
we
can
did-
rehash for the people.
Yeah. We did say on the pick of the week episode na yes, tama lang na this was the way WrestleMania went down. The tag team titles main eventing because this match was better. Like the story of this match was much more compelling. The build was much more better than the women's match. So okay lang yun na that was the main event because of that nagkaroon ng chip si Rhea and Charlotte on their shoulders to deliver on their match because they were originally rumored to be the main event. So parang it was a win-win situation between those two matches.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any other feels about Sammy and KO and their huge WrestleMania moment?
No, deserve nila.
Yeah, deserve. Yeah. So, and to think na they both started together and then they really, magkasama sila from their days in the Indies and then PWG Ring of Honor and now, they get to main event WrestleMania and win the tag team titles. Like there's no other two persons as intertwined in the wrestling business as much as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, sobrang angas yung PWG tribute and the Super Dragon tribute in their
Oh yeah,
tights.
definitely.
Yeah, that was cool.
They
That was
And
paid
the
really
tribute
fact
to the
that
Briscoes, diba? And
yeah.
the Briscoes and Super Dragon and PWG. It was a good guys of them to call to pay tribute to the people that helped them along the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
di lang yun. It was also acknowledged by sina Michael Cole on commentary. And, you can bet your ass as soon as they said it, we repeated that shit on commentary then. We just take our cues from them, honestly. Pag sinabi ni
Oo.
Michael Cole, sige, alud din natin, di ba?
Buti di nagalit si Tatang, di ba?
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about Hell in a Cell and Bianca Belair's win. And we're also going to be evaluating WrestleMania. We're going to zoom out and give our grades. But first, another break. And here's a word from our other podcasts right here on Podcast Network Asia. All right, before we get to yung second half of our WrestleMania feels, Glendale, I can't comment on that. I don't know if these other guys will,
No,
but out of
we will-
respect
I
to family
will not.
drama, family problems, I'm not going to comment on that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about more Night 2 stuff from WrestleMania, starting with Edge and Finn inside Hell in a Cell. I'm sure a lot of things should have gone, in a different direction, like Finn getting injured and needing staples like a few minutes into the match. But the big question coming out of Hell in a Cell is, did Edge, who's already a multi-time world champion, Hall of Famer, did he need to win Hell in a Cell? Let's start with you, Chino.
I feel no, because first of all, I have a lot of feelings about this fucking match, right? Like I get that Finn was injured. Gets ko naman yun. Hindi naman natin naasahan yun. But feeling ko, hindi din nakatulong yung red and purple color scheme nila.
Tsaka yung red chair.
Really, yeah, right? Like, what is this? They really missed an opportunity to have this match sponsored by Doritos or something. Papasok yung color scheme. Because, like, come on, guys. We're supposed to take this feud seriously. And then you pull out the red and purple props. Anyway, I don't think Edge deserved to win. Number one, because the Demon has really been bastardized all throughout. Last two Demon matches, talo si Finn Balor. So what's the point of him putting all that makeup on and walking out doing his own thing, diba? Parang namumukha siyang kawawa in this environment. Although, yes, they did a good job of saying that he's supposed to be super aggressive, etc., etc. But what does it matter when he still loses in the end, right? Number two, Edge is supposedly, if you take this with a grain of salt, the part of the new Percy Jackson series. So he's going to be gone for quite some time. We
Yeah.
won't see Edge on TV for quite a while. So paano natin ma-justify itong win na to? Diba? Like, does he just walk away because he's on top? It would have made much more sense to me if they ended the match with Finn on top. That way, Edge can be written out easily.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Emil, do you have as violent of a reaction as Chino's?
Actually, I was more mad with this one than the main event, honestly. Kasi there's no point in giving Edge the win here. Kasi what does he get? He's already a Hall of Famer. He's already one of the greatest to ever do it. And poor Demon Balor, like, nawawala na yung lore ng character ni Demon Balor when they have him lose matches like these. So, sobrang bad trip actually ako na Edge won this one. And I like Edge. But this should have been Finn Balor because I always thought, again, like I said on the predictions episode last week, I always thought the ending of this story would be Edge putting over the Judgment Day. And I don't know, is this feud done or is this it? I don't know. Finn should have won this one. Like I don't know why they went with Edge. Honestly, like there's no upside to Edge winning this match.
Mhm. Ikaw, Rowan, believe ka pa ba sa demon character ni Finn?
Actually, sa totoo lang, while watching this match, uh, the whole as the match progresses, parang paiba-iba yung pick ko. So, my original pick was Edge, tapos biglang magbabago na si Finn na lang, because parang he would dominate eventually. Tapos eventually si Edge na naman. And I also like the result na si Edge yung nanalo. I'm gonna be contradicting your answers, guys. Feeling ko mas deserve ni Edge yung panalo dito because biro mo, gumawa siya ng stable tapos tatraido rin lang siya. Tapos ninakaw pa yung bagong Alter Bridge song niya. Bro just wants a new Brood and a new Alter Bridge song.
Okay.
We're completely forgetting what they
I don't
did to
think that's
Beth
enough of a
Phoenix.
I don't think that's enough motivation.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's not enough motivation there, Rowan.
Yeah, but to go back to the question, Rowan, believe ka pa ba sa demon character ni Finn Balor?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to answer that. Yun nga, parang, sorry for the word, parang they bastardized the demon character na parang, it's supposed to be like the next big thing. Like, he's supposed to be like, stronger than the regular Finn Balor. And it's just surprising na natalo din siya. They should have pulled the trigger then Finn should have won this. Mas deserve siya. Mas deserve niya because Edge doesn't gain anything from winning this match.
Mm-hmm. Hikaru.
Yeah, I agree with all of you. I don't like the demon character, but I think this was a way to finally shoot it behind the barn, diba? So, that said, though, Edge gains nothing from defeating the younger Finn Balor, diba? Gino's right. Edge is going out to film a movie. Balor is literally heading a stable, and why is this a thing? Why did this happen? Even if he was injured, like, it's funny because Triple H was once upon a time the biggest proponent of the demon character, diba? Like that was he allowed that to flourish, and now it's not flourishing. So the only reason I can think of is they're killing it finally because Vince killed it first. Tapos maybe pinuliti ni Edge something, I don't know. It could be, I don't know. Yeah. So I agree with all of you. The other thing I didn't like were people making jokes about how the demon needed medical attention because he suffered a nasty gash. Like, yeah, guys, you got worked if you really think he's a real demon. You know,
Ano siya, Super Saiyan?
yun nga, diba? Like I know y'all like to make jokes, but there is a time and place, and I'm saying this as I have Shane in my background. So he deserved to get medical attention too.
They need
Yeah,
some
tao pa
healing.
rin naman si Finn Balor, di ba? He
Like
is
she-
still an athlete.
And I just want to also say this, no, and it was such a disappointing thing, and this is even a worse loss for Demon Balor because this was a clean victory by Edge. So there wasn't any mystical, there wasn't any, dirty finish. The Demon Balor was pinned clean, 1, 2, 3, and that's just sad.
I mean,
also,
justice.
yeah. Also, again, why are we trying to make Brood Edge a thing?
Oh, nga,
It wasn't
never
a thing in the 90s.
Yeah,
It should not
never
be a
was.
thing now. Please
It wasn't
stop.
even his best gimmick.
Ano, di ko rin magets yun. Like, suddenly, naging Brood siya.
Yeah, nobody understands why they're going to this half flash in the pan character of Edge.
He's the rated R
this main
superstar.
character.
Tsaka,
Hindi naman nagustuhan yung Brood sorry.
they're trying to whitewash Edge's role in the Brood. Out of the three of them, the other two were wearing the vampire puffy shirts. He was wearing his usual gear, so he wasn't even He wasn't even playing with the supernatural.
Yeah, he wasn't even a vampire. Exactly.
So yeah, let's not make this happen. It's never gonna happen.
All right. Another question about kung tama ba yung result or not. Bianca Belair, still your Raw Women's Champion. Heading into this match, it was a battle of two streaks. Yung undefeated streak ni Bianca at WrestleMania and Asuka's winless streak. And we all saw how that played out. Bianca, Raw Women's Champion for well over a year at this point. So let's start with you, Rowan. What do you think about this decision?
Ako, di ko nagustuhan that Oscar lost. Like, I was really rooting for her because they built her so well. Tsaka parang mas convincing na siya ngayon. Dito ko na-realize na parang I'm not ready for Oscar. Like, this is a much better character than the main roster Oscar na nag-debut from 2017 that lost eventually, like nasira siya sobra, like parang binaboy nga siya, like yung undefeated streak niya, like nawala na, tapos parang she's always winning squash matches. Parang she doesn't get like yung usual NXT matches niya. Tapos parang she got relegated to tag teams eventually. Bihira na siya mag-main event. I didn't like that whole thing. Kaya sobrang nagtataka ako why Bianca won this one. And the way they promoted the match as well. Parang it's also convincing that Bianca's reign was about to end as well.
Mm-hmm. Emil, there's a question from Carlo Elijah, or a comment rather, na Bianca Belair is basically female John Cena. What do you think about that?
I mean, by the looks of her entrance, might as well. That comparison is quite on point. Kasi they really tried to make her look like the next John Cena because they have her, be out there, be, on the public eye more, and then her character is literally like Super Cena, but not as annoying, not as deplorable as Super Cena was. Pero yun na nga, no, by the decision of her winning, there's a legit argument for that, and there's absolutely no reason I think for Bianca to win this match, because this was basically a second chance for the Asuka gimmick. Like, this is her second chance to be a legit main eventer again, and for me they kind of blew it, but it's still not too late. I mean, this feud has only really started very recently, so maybe we'll get another match down the line between these two, and maybe siguro by that time Asuka can already win the title. So it keeps at least the silver lining on all of this is Bianca is still undefeated at WrestleManias, but on the contrary, Asuka still winless. So
yeah, Emil, I'm glad you mentioned na pasimula pa lang tong feud nila Bianca and Asuka. And Ro, I'm gonna ask you, is this comparable to what you said earlier about Cody? Na pasimula pa lang din yung story niya. He hasn't really gone through the struggle yet.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that as you guys were talking. Before that, though, I had a report from a non-wrestling fan friend who was in attendance at the show. She reported that the crowd was heavily for Bianca. Hindi naman hometown girl si Bianca dun eh. So that goes to show you how really popular she is, that the Jane Cena comparisons are very much warranted. So reflecting on that, it became kind of clear to me that they haven't yet built that equity for new Asuka. Like, yes, internet fans, we all love Asuka. We knew we watched NXT. We knew how awesome she was. Pero for the most part, the new Asuka right now hasn't been, it hasn't been fully ingratiated yet with the crowd. So, tama ka when you brought up that Cody comparison. Yeah, that's right. I thought when I was thinking about this, I also felt that initially Bianca shouldn't have won, but and then Asuka tweeted about causing chaos. She said, should she go back to Japan? But she ended that tweet by saying, let's just cause some chaos in the women's division on Raw. Diba? So I figured the whole thing was a setup for a big heel turn, because prior to this, the Kana Asuka wasn't really, a big villain or anything. It wasn't really a compelling character. She was better in the ring. She wasn't as goofy as previous Asuka, pero she was still kind of wishy-washy when it came to the writing. Like you weren't sure if she was an asshole, a bitch, or was she an edgy good girl, or now there is an opportunity to say she's gonna go all in, and she's gonna go back to what she was, to being the force of nature that she was when she first started in NXT. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And I think, I think there is something to be said about how comparable it is to Cody's art in some ways. So yeah, not as sad about it. It will be sad if Vince takes full control again, but that's going to be the case for a lot of these stories and characters.
Yeah, but Chino, you look at Asuka and this darker version of her is not exactly a pure and clean baby face. So does a darker, edgier, heel-leaning Asuka need to have this underdog struggle?
No, but it does need to undergo some sort of change, because for us to believe that this Asuka is actually ready to take over a pure baby face like Bianca Belair, there needs to be a stark contrast. Dito kasi parang tweeter pa si Asuka, eh, diba? Like Rose said, you weren't sure where she lay, where her allegiances lay. So I feel that by turning Asuka heel, by making her go crazy on the women's roster a little bit more, we stew the story up a little bit more, and we actually get the ending that most fans might want to see. Might not get it in the way that we wanted, pero we're gonna see an Asuka win in the near future.
All right. We're kind of going overtime here, so we appreciate everyone who's sticking around for the supersized WrestleMania feels slash reaction show. We're going to zoom out now and talk about WrestleMania as a whole. Which did you enjoy more, night one or night two? Let's start with Rowan.
For me, it would be night one, or I don't know why. Kasi is it because I attended the day one viewing party, or it's just really good? Kasi the result of the matches are the ones that I want to happen. It featured matches as well. It also featured matches that I want to see.
Yeah,
Cena
Lodi mo
versus
lang si Logan Paul eh.
yeah, I was gonna mention that. Seth versus LP, Ray versus Dom, and the main event tag title match. Kaya naging favorite ko tong night one. Night two, I didn't get the results that I wanted, pero enjoyable din naman siya.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Chino.
I enjoyed night two a lot more. I did not get the results that I wanted, but I enjoyed the excuse me. I enjoyed the process and the quality of the matches a lot more. That Intercontinental three-way was a banger after banger after banger, show-stealing match of the whole pay-per-view yun para sa akin. And even the main event with Roman and Cody, while again the troll tayo doon, was still pretty good. You know, all laughable yung Shane McMahon gimmick, but it is what it is. All in all, I still enjoyed night two a little bit more.
Ikaw, Emil.
This is an easy answer. Night one for me. Um, it was easily the best wrestling show I have ever seen from top to bottom, and there was no dull moments. There was no dull action. Every match was action packed. Even the ones which I thought were fillers, like the showcase tag team match. Boy, the reaction from Skinny Mike's during the showcase match, they were popping. They were really popping. They were into it. So there's no dull moments. Plus, I personally the ads didn't irritate me as much in night one as it did in night two. So I'd go with night one.
Wait, let me ask you guys this. Yung mascot that Sol Ruka was in, yung Cinemoji, was that also censored out?
Censored.
Yes, that was we didn't see that during the watch party.
Okay. Sige, Ro, take it home.
Yeah, easy. Night one. First night one was the better show, top to bottom in terms of quality. Like consistent siya all throughout. A lot of good stuff. Even the impromptu matches. I would rather take Pat McAfee kicking The Miz over Snoop Dogg versus Shane McMahon, diba? So,
Wait
yung
lang,
pala-
how was that not a DQ, first of all?
which one?
Like, bakit did you DQ?
Ang alin.
George Kittle
Yung George
interference.
Kittle
Yeah.
interruption.
Oh yeah, I don't know either, but it is what it is.
It do be like that.
It do be like that sometimes,
Wrestling logic.
that hey, how was the belt from Rey Mysterio, not a DQ? diba?
That's also
Yeah,
true.
okay.
Yeah. Or an
Diba?
object. Or an object.
Yeah, it became a foreign object as soon as it left his person. Anyway, I know, even though I said all that stuff about letting the story play out, the storytelling stuff, syempre you still want the feel good moment, and they delivered the feel good moment on night one. So that's the easy answer, I think, for a lot of people as well.
Yeah, based on the comments. Chino, am I right in assuming that your favorite match of the entire two-day event was the Intercontinental Championship match?
Yes, 100%. Without a doubt. Like, nung napanood ko yung match na yun, I was so surprised by the brutality. BT Sports, the UK partner of the WWE, tweeted statistics about blows exchanged, and grabe. Si
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre pa yung pinaka-naupakan dun sa buong match na yun. It's insane the punishment these three men inflict on each other, and how Gunther still retains his championship. It's just through sheer brutality. It's just beautiful.
Rowan, your favorite match from the entire WrestleMania?
Last one ako kay Chino dito. It's gonna be the IC title match. What I like about this match is pinaramdam sa atin na mag-e-end na yung reign ni Gunther. The fact that they tease so much na mananalo na si Sheamus. Kasi ang daming beses na parang, brogue kick. Tapos, submission. Tapos, ang daming moments na mananalo na si Sheamus. And they're like teasing us na he's gonna be a Grand Slam champion. Pero with Gunther winning, it's just solidified that he's the next best Intercontinental champion. Or if not, maybe he is the best Intercontinental champion. I remember Stan asking everyone on Discord na kung ano yung mas masayang match. Was it the Clash at the Castle, Sheamus versus Gunther, or this three-way match at WrestleMania? Ako, I'm picking the three-way because the
Wow.
more the merrier.
Nagsimula ng bagong topic. Ikaw na moderator. Sige, minsan ka lang naman nandito. I'll answer the Clash at the Castle match.
My answer is the three-way.
Three-way.
Okay, Emil,
wait.
answer that, then answer my question.
Anyway. And then, so for the favorite match of the two-day event, again, another spoilers for our pick of the week episode. I did.
No. Ito na lang. Listen to the pick of the week episode. It just came out before we went on.
Yeah.
After this, go listen to it on Spotify or YouTube, because that's where you will find Emil and I's answers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, my favorite match from the perspective of having called it on commentary was Ray versus Dom. And I really wish Tagalog commentary was available kasi I really felt like Carlo and I were at the top of our game there. Carlo really invoking the spirit of OFWs, comparing Ray to being an OFW, and me doing my best to be a Dominic apologist.
Wait.
like
I have a question.
Mm.
Did he invoke, what's his name? Either Freddie Aguilar or
Hindi naman.
Or si napakasakit Kuya Eddie.
No, wala naman. Obviously, I couldn't kasi I wasn't on Ray's side on commentary. But nung sinisinturon na si Dominic, sabi ko, teka, kailan naging Pilipino si Rey Mysterio? So I was saying that. And I was alluding to Aaliyah being the first one to actually tear the family apart. So, it was such a fun experience. So, yung favorite match ko from the entire WrestleMania was Ray versus Dom, just for that alone. One day, when it becomes available, yung Tagalog audio, I hope you guys can check that out. Ito, last question for the stream. Where does WrestleMania 39 rank for you in your fandom? Let's start with you, Emil.
Number one.
Wow.
Kasi
Big words.
I've been only naging wrestling fan na ako since 2012, so I have seen only 11 Manias when it happened, and this is by far the most I enjoyed, and also I think the best in ring and storyline wise, so very easily top one for me.
All right, Chino.
I'd say the middle top half. Like, I wouldn't go as far as to say that this was the best WrestleMania, but it certainly had its most by far. So I'd say hindi ko na ma-enumerate. Like, gun to my head, I can't tell you which the best WrestleManias are since I've only seen a handful of them. But
Yeah, agree.
ako sabihin ko middle top half.
Rowan?
Okay, so for me, number one ang 33. So originally 35 was my number two. Pero now 39 is number two for me. Because parang what do you call this? Na-outshine ni 39 si 35. Plus yung 35 parang nakakapagod panoorin. So it's gonna be 39 for me. Since it's
Ro?
separated in 2 days.
Right. Objectively, I think it's in the top 15 to top 20, like of all the WrestleManias. But for me, it should be in my top 5 or top 10. Um, it's one of the modern WrestleManias that was handled pretty well. Um, Triple H delivered on a lot of things. I think he delivered on a lot of fan service moments, despite not delivering the biggest one. I think the roster also stepped up. um, he gave the roster a lot of time to do their thing and to just cook really well, diba? And the fact that he was able to execute 2 nights perfectly was also a big thing for me. So this is an all-time one of the good ones for me.
Thanks to everyone who's dropping in your favorite WrestleManias in the comments as well. Good that we have this conversation. And if you want to keep it going as you're listening to this on the audio-only version, you can tweet us or hit us up on TikTok at Wrestling2XPod. Answer the question, where does WrestleMania 39 rank for you in your fandom, or if you've seen every Mania of all time. We've also got some more stuff in the audio-only version, which will drop on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts by tomorrow or Saturday at the latest. And in there, we'll talk about Jay White's Dynamite debut as an official AEW full-time performer. We'll talk about AEW All Access and why that's cringe, Braun Breaker's heel turn, and the return of Noam Dar to NXT. All of that part of your audio-only discussions. But as we begin to wind down here, Chino, let the good people know what you've got on your plate.
All right, quickly. I have 4 shows next week. So
Dami.
kahit isang puntahan nyo, okay na ako. All of them will be available on the link in my bio, linktr.ee/Chino Supersized. Open mics, showcase shows. We're doing it big, guys. Sana supportahan nyo ako. linktr.ee/Chino Supersized.
All right, Rowan.
Please subscribe to our Patreon para mabasa nyo yung weekly wrestling reviews namin. So
Everyone can read it now. Sorry.
Okay. Oh,
you get a special. Sorry.
Okay.
It's free for all, but at least more people will.
Wow,
No, more people will
really have it
read
in
your
for
writing.
Rowan.
No. I'm saying that more people can read his stuff now. You don't have to sign up for the Patreon. You can
that's
just
actually
promote
true.
that shit. Yeah.
And Chino, I miss you so much. You're backing me up.
I got
But yes,
you, Rowan.
please do sign up to Patreon. For all of us.
Yeah, it's right there in our ticker below. Emil, what do you have to plug?
I don't know. We posted the videos from the watch party on the Wrestling podcast TikTok feed, and so if you want to see the feel, if you want to see the atmosphere, if you want to see what happened inside of Skinny Mike's, watch those videos on our TikTok. And just follow me on TikTok as well, @AML_Meister, and on Twitter @AML_Meister.
Uy, shoutout pala sa ating 2ASH sila yung nag-documentation ng viewing party.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Emil and Rowan.
Stepping up.
Yeah.
Oo,
Good
nagtrabaho
job, guys.
sila.
Yeah.
So
Rowan-
makikita natin yung yung footage on social media.
Rowan was posting in real time like a solid, well-trained social media manager. So good job on that. Emil also documented a lot of stuff that kind of saved their ass sponsor. So good job on that. Because the reason why you have all those videos and why some of you went to the show on day 2 was because of them. So
yeah,
that's what y'all missed, and they documented it for all of us.
Ro, what's
Also,
going
shout
on your
out
end?
dun sa mga taong tumulong, like the people of Geek Talk PH.
Yeah, that's right.
And Stack, and even the surprise photo booth.
Yeah.
guy, thanks to him.
Yeah, if you guys had a picture of the photo booth, You can check it out. The Facebook page is shared on our page, then. But if you want to go see the whole thing, it's Marg Studio, MARG space Studio. It's right there. The guy is photo booth services. So thank you, sir, for dropping by early Monday morning for to give us the gifs that we did not really
Tsaka si
want.
Sir Ruben of Skinny Mike.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Thank
Sir
you.
Ruben of Skinny Mike's, really happy to have worked with him again. He, for those who don't know, he already thought of approaching us before we approached him. So the reason why I tell you this is not the last time is because he's already asking us when the next event is. So stay tuned. Thank you, Sir Ruben. Thank you, Skinny Mike staff.
Any plugs, Ro?
Yeah. Again, the audio, the Picks of the Week episode on Spotify and I think YouTube just dropped before we went on. So if you want to hear us talk about the matches themselves as matches, you can go listen to that now after we finish the stream. So yun lang. Again, MWF Republica is happening at the end of the month, April 30. We have Tajiri, we have Yappy, who will also be having on the show soon enough. Coming by to work with us. So you can go buy tickets at ticketamine.net, or I think there might be something if you subscribe to our gang. Just go to manilawrestling.com and subscribe for only $10 or around 575 pesos. Yun lang.
All right. On my end, new episodes of On Deck for the month of April. Next week, I've got Jay De La Cruz of PBA Radio. He'll talk about the sports radio scene in the Philippines, how that's so different from the US, and also calling PBA radio games, what that's like. And I'm not going to be here on the podcast for the next couple of weeks. I'll be going to Kuala Lumpur to cover the Asia Basket International Championship. So that should be a lot of fun. Go catch it on the PhilBasket/Asia Basket YouTube channel. The tournament starts on Sunday. I'll be back on the podcast by April 20, 420. Yay! So, yun. I'll catch
Holiday
you
on Rowan, holiday.
Oh, holiday on Rowan, Make sure to follow the pod on social media at Wrestling2XPod on Twitter and on TikTok. Everywhere else, it's at Wrestling Podcast. For us individually, it is at Chino Supersized, at Rowiswar, at Monday Night Rowan, at EML_Meister, and at _Stan C. Thank you very much to babyface producer Mike and everybody behind the scenes for putting these episodes together. We'll catch you next week for the Pick of the Week episode. And, we wish everyone a happy Easter greetings. And I hope that you spend your long weekend well with the people that you love. Go recharge for when you go back to work on Tuesday.
Sorry, Jesus, nagtrabaho kami.
No, bukas pa naman yung bawal, to be fair.
Hindi, pero alam mo yun, on the way na siya eh.
Buhay pa naman si Lord.
Pero on the way na siya.
Just in incredible pain.
Yeah. All right, so we're out of here. On behalf of Emil ASH, Rowan ASH, Chino Liao, and Romaran, my name is Stan C. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't be a dick. We're out.
Peace.
Bye-bye.